Two teams going toe-to-toe, what would you say would be?
Someone described this to me as a deathmatch versus all random.
I really couldn't fault them on that. We know MVP to be like the caveman Dota that just gets in your face and they don't really care if it's 5 melees or not, they're ready to bang it out. Or Wings, who seem to just pick whatever the hell they feel like.
I remember when I was talking to QO, he told me that their style of Dota is focused around him. And speaking further to him, he told me that there's no real analysis of their play. They just, when they're in the game, they just scream and they're just like, go kill that guy. There's no discussion about how to do it. A lot of these other teams, they plan out fights. They're like, all right, you position here, you position here. But MVP, they just forget about all of that.
Third pick Puck? That all look pretty okay up until that.
Gaming.
Rather strange early Puck.
Yeah, very.
Good way to relocate though, like to set up an initiation for that. But yeah,
Both teams like bad, I suppose, but Puck's way better versus the Oracle. And Darkseer for that matter.
Yeah, I guess you have that going on for you. With the Puck, you're going to be able to jump behind and silence the Oracle. Maybe even get an early Dagon so you can actually kill her first. So, seems like a solid idea from Wings.
If you were Wings, would you have considered banning the PA, considering that MVP, I don't think they've lost with the PA?
I would ban Darkseer though. I think Darkseer made the PA very strong.
Okay, you don't think it's the PA independently?
Yeah. Like because of the Iron Shell, that's number one. And number two is like not every offlaner can fight all the time. You don't want to have an offlaner that relies on cooldown, and you want an offlaner that can buy mech as well. So not many offlaner fulfills that criteria.
It becomes hard to gauge if Wings are that kind of team that maybe they welcomed the Darkseer PA with open arms and prep that they had something ready for it. It's Wings after all, you really never know. But
oh my God.
Okay, that hero's back somehow.
This looks like a very, very comfortable opening for MVP. Like as always, all their melee heroes with the Iron Shell. I mean, Shiva brought up a pretty legit point about the techies against all the melee heroes.
Yeah, of course.
Are you saying it's time for techies again?
10 seconds.
I mean, if you have 5 melee heroes, why not?
I think if you lost like you did against DC though, I think you're like, about that. Especially when you have a Drow lineup, right, with Puck.
He has like permanent double damage.
I mean, because it's Wings, you know, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Dude, 40 times 2 is not that high, Ben. Puck Drow, though, I think right now it's the battle of Wings have the counter initiation with the Gust and the Puck going in, but if MVP play this right, especially in the laning phase, they're probably going to do the dual lane, right? The Darkseer and
A fistful of tangos on the same team.
Is that offlane Puck now?
Puck.
Offlane Quap?
No, I think Puck is more, because you need...
probably Puck.
You need...
We've seen them both happen in
Isn't
time.
Quap way better?
Yeah, but you need more farm on the Quap. You need Quap to snowball, whereas Puck can probably afford a much weaker start.
Because he really... That's the issue with him, is that you get the blink and then it becomes underwhelming in this meta.
What about support Quap? We've seen it a few times, even in competitive.
Alliance used to run it.
Pycat way back in the day, I remember that.
I don't know, because it's Wings, it's like, I don't know what they're going to do, you know, we'll just see with the final pick. Generally, you would expect offlane Puck.
Maybe another mid laner, because why not?
Why do we say generally expect offlane, considering that hero never gets picked? This is just Wings, what they do.
If one of these two teams like walk away with the TI title, it's like, well, let's just throw strategy out the window at this point. Moving into the final bans, MVP makes sure they get rid of some possible early game aggression from the jungle by getting rid of the Chen. And we go to Wings Gaming for the final ban here, which we anticipate.
Wait, is there still ET left?
Yeah. That hero is still available. If Wings want it.
All right, what about Earthshaker, Ben?
Earthshaker is really good versus the melee hero. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think for Wings, the common theme right now is you need to be able to disengage and simply get away and create some distance between your range heroes and MVP. Because MVPs, you know what they're going to do. They're just going to run at you for 25 minutes.
And then it might actually allow them to do like Earthshaker, Quap, off lane, and pressure. That lane is decent.
Winter.
Yeah, that lane is decent. Then can have like Puck mid, which is hard to gank.
This is one of the few lineups where I would actually advocate something like the ES. One of the only ones.
Ban comes out on the Faceless Void, and we'll have to see. Nope, it's a Warlock.
Upheaval against melee heroes. I mean, okay. MVP finish up with the Quasvex Invoker that they always go for. Very, very typical MVP stuff. They're gonna run at you. They're gonna keep fighting. Don't need much farm.
Is Warlock the answer?
They brought out a Warlock against MVP. How dare you?
I don't know, man. I'm just going to go for MVP Dakota.
All right, fair enough. It's a hard one to gauge, but if you guys had anything else to say on it? Nope.
MVP.
Let's just
Wings
see.
all the way.
Let's see the action break out for itself. Let's go ahead and send it to the floor now, where we have LD and Mott.
Thanks so much, guys, and we are here trying to determine who is going to be top 3 at Ti6 for $3 or at least $2 million, LD, and what a draft to start us off with this game 1.
I am expecting nothing but blood, Mutt. It's all raged heroes. Yes, Wings want to kite, but this is a team that plays aggressive in their own right. MVP, nothing different here, just typical face rush Dota from them. They also have the Dubu Earth Spirit. This guy is an absolute master on the hero. Combine that with Ion Shell. Lots of early pressure for MVP. Wayne's early warding, support positioning will be extremely important. And they need levels on these supports. It's a Warlock and an IO, so they have to have a decent laning stage.
If they can get that chaotic offering, they can stop that MVP aggression with that golem and see how much damage they can pump out.
But look at this, MVP already invading the jungle.
They're going to jump in. There's going to be the dagger. Shadow gets caught. There's going to be the rolling boulder. Cold snap as well, and Shadow will be your first blood. And already,
they want
MVP
more.
Get on the board. Blink will be able to blink away that co-op, but still, first blood going the way of MVP, as you would expect with this face rush style.
You know, generally, that's a pretty good position in the jungle to break smokes, and he was fairly far back, but PA's dagger just has absolutely insane range. Even at level 1, it's got ridiculously long catch potential. Just got caught off guard. That's where a position where you'd ideally like the Queen of Pain to be, maybe the Puck. If you're going to put the Drow there, have more support behind her, but this is just, it just seems to happen whenever MVP's playing. Teams just don't respect how aggressive they are. And once again, off to a hot start here. They do get the bounty rune for the Invoker. So as for the lanes mod, it looks like it will be the Queen of Pain mid. So they're going to run the off-lane Puck for Faith Beyond. He might get help from the IO though, which is a pretty scary dual lane with the Drow.
This is the draft panel was talking about it. This is one of the most interesting drafts you'll see. And again, it's Wings that does it. They just pick so many crazy heroes. They were thinking Techie's there for a little bit, and that's not going to be picked up though. Wings will have that IO helping out Faith Beyond in the off lane to begin with. This QO sit in the safe lane trying to farm up, and Febby as well trying to zone out. The 3 lanes are situated now. MP versus Blink. Pretty solid matchup. And how do you feel about this Invoker going up against the Quap in the mid lane?
It's a Quas Wex Invoker up against Drow Ranger Aura on Queen of Pain. So generally you would say Invoker's going to have a tough time here. He does have a lot of regen with Quas. He's not going to die, but last hitting is generally difficult. But the good news for him is he's already getting help, and he goes in with the Tornado now. He's going to force out the Blink from Blink himself. The Earth Spirit started there to help secure the lane. So he's not being left entirely in the island, but look at this mod.
Yeah, they have the Stifling Dagger. They want to go in the eye with the Rolling Boulder in as well. This is trouble for Wings, and it looks like they might lose it. It says no tether. He's able to at least try to get alive, but it's too much damage coming out, and Wings will lose yet another hero with that aggression. And Dubu rotates up top early to get that kill.
They have no ward vision right now of the runes or the Earth Spirit's potential rotations. Only one hill ward. It does spot the Iron Talon jungling for Darkseer. So bottom lane, entirely abandoned. Drow can free farm. This is generally where a lot of teams would look to Roma support, maybe try to secure the mid lane, potentially go assist that top lane, but you're running a Warlock support. This hero needs levels. Speaking of which.
Snap mid. Aggressive Blink coming out from the mid player, and MP will co-toad it. So he has the Quas helping him regen, but the Shadow Strike is there. He has the Fairy Fire if need be on that Invoker, but it looks like there will be no extra kills going the way of either side.
Still Dubu. He secures a haster in top with the Earth Spirit. Looks like more support rotations. Ti6 is going to come in mid, but he has been scouted, Mott. You walk by dire wards for this.
And it is going to be a Warlock support rotation. It's not the best thing. No upheaval skilled up either, so he has the Fatal Bonds, the Shadow Word as well to help out, but that's not going to be able to do too much, and he will head back down towards that bottom rune spot. Dubu's still on the hill, getting set up. Maybe looking for a Rolling Boulder, but they want to bait out this aggressive Blink. Instead, he will Blink defensively. Doesn't get up to the high ground, but going to get away just fine. Dubu is putting a little pressure on at this point.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up because I think it's worth discussion, and I'm curious to see if Ti6 will go for many points in upheaval this game. It sounds amazing against 3 melee heroes and just a face rush lineup as they again move in on Blink, forcing him to back out once more. But is it really that good? PA has Blink Strike to get out of it. You've Surge on the Darkseer, and Earth Spirit has the Rolling Boulder. So all 3 heroes can pretty easily just remove themselves from upheaval. I feel like with Wings, this was more a pick design just to fuel the 5-man push, but He'll need the Golem before he can really come into play, as there's again a movement. Dubu trying to set up Faith Beyond, who already used the orb. Unfortunately, kick.
Down. And he gets stunned up. That's a great boulder smash, followed by the Fortune 10. It's plenty of damage.
They have no idea what Earth Spirit is doing. That ward is not helpful in this situation. Puck using the orb to offensively harass and farm. You can't do that when the IO's not behind you and when you have no vision. It's just a lack of vision here that's really hurting Wings.
Yeah. Wings, they seem a little bit spread thin at this point in time. This Warlock can't help them out. The IO's too low level at this point. Maybe he could have overcharged, but even then, when you, like you said, offensively use that illusory orb, you are more than likely going to go down, and he does. So Faith Beyond, not the best off lane, not the best start. Stifling Dagger dodged nicely by the phase shift. He has the Waiting Rift as well, but
he has CSC well. That's the beauty of having the Drow Ranger, as he might be able to get a kill here on 4F. 4F does back away. Faith Beyond's going in for this.
Top lane's rolling boulder away. Meanwhile, looks like they're going to be okay for the time being. Forb is able to surge himself out, and looks like they will get out. Faith Beyond was looking for that kill, but he's not successful in doing so.
Yeah, he saw Darkseer go to farm the big camp. He knew he was low. He didn't know exactly where he was, but he's still chasing Mott. 4F's greed might be punished. This could be huge.
He's trying to TP out. The illusory orb isn't there in time. Oh, he actually hit it, but it didn't do enough damage. He's sitting in base with maybe 10 HP. Jump in mid, Scream of Pain, MP with the Shadow Strike as well, but he's regenning it with the Quasa. MP should sit behind.
But they're wrapping around. MP is a big kill. He could invoke Ghostwalk, though. The orb's going to connect. They get him. Wings, they needed that kill.
That's a big pick going their way. And some tower pressure as well. The Glyph will go, but they have a siege group there as well. Dubu will rotate in. Level 2, that boulder smash as well as the rolling boulder, but he needs more help here if he wants to try to find something. Looks like they will back away with a little bit of tower pressure actually taken.
So looking at the drafts, Wings like to push, right? They pick the Drow, they have the Warlock. This lineup has pick-off potential, but they're primarily about 5-man. They really have to be careful about QO coming to fights. P8 is actually very scary, even in early engagements with basic farm. He's about to hit level 6. They definitely need to keep tabs on him. Their natural goal is going to be, once the Golem is up, to push with that, but they better mind the PA's positioning or they could get mega punished.
Is there an item that Kiwo is waiting for to be involved, or just levels, or?
Mainly just levels. Getting the max dagger is really important, having 1 point in the crit, but bottom lane, action breaks out.
Boulder smash onto 2, beautifully from Dubu. They get the silence as well on both heroes, and now Shadow in trouble. The Shadow Word healing him up. They get the overcharge as well from the tether. Great turnaround. Can they get the kill? The surge away. Dubu will survive. The frost arrows not helping with that surge from the Darkseer. So close with both teams going down there.
And speaking of rotations, Mott, hey guys, QO has decided it's time to take a fight bottom. They're all low. There was a ward scouting this. 4 heroes coming bottom potentially. MP thinking about it depending on the rune. He's going to get a regen. They're diving for this Mott. Look at this aggression from MVP.
QO really wants a kill here. Not sure he's going to find it. Innocence might be the best target, though. He's got no tether, and he dies within 3 hits. The Stifling Dagger helping out 4 out. Body blocking as well, but again, more Shadow Word from Ice. Still low. Brett will try to TP away. Gus will not stop it, but he will make it out, doing some nice damage, though. Shadow almost bringing 4 of down.
Wings, no TPs on either core there. Faith Beyond on the puck did not have one. He's not quite level 6. And equally importantly, Blink has not skilled the ultimate yet because he went for the 2 points in Shadow Strike and wants the max Scream Pain. He doesn't have a TP either. You have to carry TPs on your cores when you're up against MVP. They will dive you, they will punish you, and they're going to keep tabs on those inventories as well.
Again, it's all about those levels for those wing supports right now, and you're looking at it here. Level 5 for this Warlock, so he's getting closer and closer to that chaotic offering. That Golem that can turn fights quickly, and he has 3 points of the Shadow Word as well to help out healing or doing some damage to
They have some long cooldowns here, though. So it's a roll bottom, they catch out Shadow.
Another great boulder smash. Dubu finding him. Forever going to come up with the Iron Shell, and that is a kill between the Darkseer as well as an Earth Spirit, and it's just that easy. Too far up there, the Drow Ranger.
Yeah, they have a lane ward behind the tower. They could potentially dive Ice. They know he doesn't have backup for now. The double Ion Shell is scary. They don't know exactly how close he is to level 6, though. And there are TPs on the 2 team fight specialists for Wings. Faith Beyond has one on the puck. Blink has one on Quap, but is a bit low on mana. The Courier coming out to rejuvenate him. But Dubu, who has been hugely impactful, already 4 assists, involved about 80% of their kills, looks to make another one happen in the mid lane.
He's going to drop the ward first, get some vision. He'll have eyes on Blink in the mid lane now, and whoever rotates into that tier 1 tower more than likely.
Radiant's bottom
Warlock is going to buy a smoke now, but he walked past the ward. They're going to try to cut him off.
Ice, yeah. They've targeted him and said, okay, we'll see you. We're just going to keep tabs on that Warlock for now.
You can just see from the way they're moving, like even if they don't go for the kill, they're always thinking about where is that next kill going to come
Oh
from.
my. The crit on this Stifling Dagger never feels good, and Faithbeyond has to feel the repercussions from it, so he'll salve up and be back to full health. But here again is the dive bottom. Rev and Dubu looking for it. Shadow under the tree line, and he's missing out on farm because of this.
They smoked at the same time on Ice on the Warlock.
That Chaotic Offering is ready. They do get that Tier 1 tower mid as well, so MVP aren't going to show up to defend that tower. They just have to find a hero in the jungle potentially.
Just the boulder smash bottom. It's not actually a dive from MVP. Wayne's not going to take the bait mod. A kill here could lead to a tower.
Green Coil, Jump and Scream. Lose your orb as well. Chaotic Offering. Maybe not needs to be used. They have detection? It looks like they do. They will bring down that Invoker, even with the Ghost Walk on.
And they still have the Warlock ult. This should be a tier 2, but MVP spreading the map. They leave QO top, 4Ev bottom. They're still waiting on the mech here for 4Ev. Oracle level 6 is very close. Invoker starting to come online, but only has the 3 points in Wex. He's not really in full fighting shape just yet, but once they get that in the Earth Spirit ult, they are going to want to take team fights. They just want to fight around the big ultimate cooldowns on Wayne's. MVP can fight pretty much constantly. It's Wayne's who rely more so on their ultimates.
The more I see this pick, the Phantom Assassin, the more I love it against the Drow Ranger. Jumping in, you have Glor, obviously. Bottom tower might get denied, and it will. As Blink comes in with a TP, nicely done. But he might pay for it. He's Blink up, ready to go, but Sonic Wave will go first. Dubu will take the majority of that damage. Still, Quap blinks away, gets out in time, and gets the deny on that tower.
Yeah, with the tower deny, probably still worth it, but Quap ult is a long cooldown.
Yes.
This may deter grouping up, and you really want that magic damage against PA. Can't rely on right clicks against evasion. One of the other reasons where the PA pick feels really solid is you're up against a Drow lineup, 5 ranged heroes, so nobody else is really a traditional right clicker. Quap can scale a bit that way, but evasion just against Drow alone is so useful to have.
It's the Vlad's the choice for the Phantom Assassin. Just some extra stats, armor, damage going your way. It's
They
nice.
might be able to Roche now with the Quap ult down. It's a little bit risky, but MVP, they're known for taking some risks. They did paint out the pit.
If there's a team that is a risk-taking team, MVP, I don't know what you want to call them, but they're actually kind of just ridiculous with their movements. And Faithbeyond, though, on the off-lane puck is actually doing so well. He's very close to... Actually, he bought the drum. I thought he would just save him for the Blink Dagger, but he's picked up the drum instead. Give his team some stats. 4Ev, though, on the other side. Looks like he will grab the mech on that Darkseer. All right. Setting up down bottom. A couple of heroes rotating in. Wings, again, still have that Chaotic Offering, yet to use it. The Warlock's nearby. They have the Invised up Queen of Pain.
They saw Blink. The smoke will break.
Kilo's going to back. He's going to throw one Stifling Dagger, phase shifted nicely by the puck. The Illusory Orb coming through, no jaunt forward. Lots of good vision coming out from the MVP side, though. If you look across this jungle, they have a lot of good wards, one down in that bottom lane, one in the jungle, and then one towards that mid lane that Dubu put down. So some really nice vision coming out from MVP LD.
You really want vision against this strong 5-man so that you don't have to fight them all at once. This is where you look for quick pickoffs, hit and run tactics from MVP. Vision is what fuels it.
TPN from MP. He'll walk past that ward. It feels like that ward's been there for forever, and it's actually just going to go down now, but they will see MP rotate in. They smoke up, though.
The Radiant ward they just had bottom has expired, mod. Otherwise, they would have seen this coming, but they might sense it anyway.
They have someone in the Roche pit right now. It looks like it is going to be that Darkseer. They scan, and they will be successful. Radiant.
MP walks by. He throws out a tornado. Very confident positioning from him. I wonder if Waynes are going to react to this. They're so scary around the pit. This is a really big risk by MVP.
This will take a while, too. No armor reduction. A Illusory Orb in. They'll see Febby. And now it's time for MVP to escape the pit. There's the surge out. Jumping from QO, though. He wants to go on Blink with the Shadow Word. And another Stifling Dagger crit coming out from QO.
They have relocate. Remember, Waynes effectively have 5 heroes here. As Faithbeyond John said, that's pretty deep.
Can't really punish it, not yet anyways. Dubu going instead on Ice. There's the Magnetize, the silence up on Blink as well. Tornado will clip Ice. They have the Chaotic Offering. Will they get it off in time? Yes. Doesn't hit anybody, though. No real disables coming out in Ice solo. The Magnetize not bringing him down, but Dubu lays it, or gets laid into by Shadow. But QO goes for the work. Sonic Wave coming in, clips onto 2. Neck back up. MVP running everyone over. Blink might be next. 4 dead, and it's a double kill.
They're
coming
just
out for Crab.
completely out finessing Wings in the fight, never getting hit by the Chaotic Offering, juking by all the big ultimates, catching them out one by one. Even though Waynes had 5, it didn't feel like it, Mott. Faithbeyond 2 might go down.
What a tornado from MP. There's the Fairy Fire, though. Faithbeyond trying to man up, and the Golem gets the double kill. Wings that they will at least get a couple in retaliation, LD.
They did use all 3 ultimates for that. They lost everyone else. That is a clear win for MVP, but it does salvage the fight. So you see here a great silence on Blink, keeps him out. Ice forced to use the Golem, as you mentioned, doesn't really hit anything. I think might have clipped MP there, but it's not good enough. You need a multiple hero fatal bonds with the ultimate. Shadow now suddenly finds himself in front of the fight. This is just how mobile the MVP draft is. They bring him down. The IO's so damn squishy. She drops. Really nice usage of the Oracle ult there to help ensure QO can stay alive and be even more aggressive. Almost ties to the Golem, but almost doesn't count, and that's just kind of what this MVP draft counts on, is barely winning fights and then turning those slight advantages into a huge lead. So very well fought by them, and it's tricky. They're all squishy. Your positioning has to be perfect on Wings.
Yeah, they will have the mech to help out, though, on Wings' side. They're building it up on Ice as we speak. He has the headdress now just about done. MVP will head back into the Roche pit. This time they have a Blightstone to help out. They want potentially a Desolator for QO, the Vlad's Deso combo. Somewhat, I would almost call a standard build for Phantom Assassins. We haven't seen them enough to really see what's standard at this point.
Yeah, some players will work in an Echo Saber. BKB is quite core in most games. This game, there's the Golem stun and there's the Queen of Pain ult, but I still think it's a very good BKB game. Lets you man up on the Drow a lot, so probably won't go for it first, but at some point may incorporate it into his build. Still though, we know what MVP already like to do. They like to run at you. Now they have an Aegis. The next step for them is reestablishing that map control over the enemy jungle. Wings actually leading when it comes to golden experience, but MVP will not just sit back and trade farm. You're not seeing a Battle Fury PA. Invoker not even going for an early farming build. He does normally go back for the Midas, but MP having a bit of a rougher game, just now completing the drum, so it's just typical MVP, the way they're itemizing. They want to fight. They do not want to sit back and trade farm.
Only 46 CS for the Invoker, and net worth-wise, he's below the off-lane puck. Blink Dagger is done for the Darkseer, however, and that's going to be great for setups. What level is this Darkseer? Level 10, so he has 3 points in the vacuum, 1 point in the wall. He's about to be 11, so those 2 points in his ultimate are going to come out soon. But Blink is just cutting the creep wave, and they're going to try to split this up as best as possible. EMP, Cold Snap, it hits nicely, but it's still plenty of mana for Blink to blink out and TP away, it looks like, and he will make it out.
Well, that's a really nice maneuver by him. It's going to slow down MVP's ability to push and take towers, and that's really what they want to do, is force objectives while Wings have to fight into the Aegis. As for Wings, they'll be looking to trade, they'll be looking to stall. And they are going for the split push top lane. It's kind of tough for MVP to come defend a tower. They definitely can't TP on this tower. And they also, Wings overall, will push a lot faster. It's a Quas Wex Invoker, not Quas Exort. No Deso on PA yet, so I'm quite liking the way Wings is adapting to this. Just, hey, MVP are fighting really well. They have Aegis. They're building to fight. Let's just push towers instead and avoid those fights entirely.
And it's not like MVP can TP up there, like you said. They would be fighting into that Warlock Golem, which is back up. They're still trying to push that tier 2 tower bottom lane. So maybe successfully. Wings not rotating over yet. They're just getting farmed themselves. Blink Dagger is now done from Faith Beyond. MVP. No.
They're also waiting on the mech for Ice. He's very close to it. The Darkseer mech was instrumental in that last team fight, but now Wings, they can equalize the score here.
Not only that, the Queen of Pain building into the Orchid Malevolence as well. So everyone getting their items for Wings right now.
Orchid is potentially game-changing. Pretty much every single MVP hero it's good against excels versus the Oracle and the Invoker. Those are ideally the 2 heroes you want to focus, but just blowing up the Oracle at the start of the fight, that means QO is going to be much less confident, especially once the Aegis expires. So I think so far, Wings really doing a good job at not falling prey to the MVP snowball effect mod. But as I say that, MVP on the smoke again.
QO's Desolator now finished up, and he finds himself a double damage rune. This could be ugly if Wings are not careful. Their positioning right now, solid. Behind their tier 2 tower, not showing themselves in that ward towards the jungle, and MP and MVP might not
He wants to go in.
Yeah, they want to go up to the high ground. The smoke is broken. There's the Dream Coil. The Gust on it too as well. Lots of damage coming out. There's the Golem on top. MP might fall first. QO, he's got the Aegis. Maybe needs to worry about that second life. Now the Sonic Wave coming through as well, and they'll take down 3. Blink gets a double, but QO, here he comes, looking for Ice. Gets the crit, but it's not enough damage to QO. He's getting kited. He can't do this on his own, and Faith Beyond comes in and finds another kill.
What a terrible choke point for MVP to fight into. They're walking up a cliff without vision into a puck a Warlock and a Queen of Pain. The Warlock will only hit one hero. The PA actually managed to dodge away to the north. 3 heroes escaped to the south. But the thing was, it spread out the fight regardless. So suddenly your PA with an Aegis is completely isolated, kept away from the Oracle. The Silence also basically deleted those 3 heroes that were to the south of the trees. And from there, fantastic Queen of Pain play by Blake. We'll get another look at it here.
See it in the replay. They just get caught with that Druid Coil onto 2. Could have been even better if Ti6 was a bit quicker on the draw with that ultimate, but they get plenty of kills going the way of Wings. They get the Aegis. They bring down a lot of heroes for MVP side. So now that net worth lead is increased to 5,000 for Wings.
MVP really, the way they win fights is by getting a kill to start them. If they walk into a 5v5, they don't instantly blow someone up. At this stage, they're going to get kited and controlled. PA cannot do it alone. This is a game where PA needs that Oracle ultimate to help her out. Surge, they invoke her, isolating heroes, Earth Spirit silencing them, but it shows you the zoning potential Wings lineup has. And coming into this series, a lot of people talk about, oh yeah, MVP love to run 5 melee heroes. There's not 5 this game, but it is a face rush draft. It's an in-your-face lineup, and pretty much everything Wings has picked is either good at disengaging or good at punishing aggression if you group up.
Tornado will catch Faith Beyond after he loses your arm aggressively. He does get stunned up as well. Look at that damage. They bring him down with the Purifying Flames, Fortune's End, and MP's Cold Snap. That's plenty of damage. He's on the sideline now. And with no Chaotic Offering, it looks like MVP might be able to push this Tier 1 tower mid lane.
QO is already on the hunt again. They do have a ward here. They saw Blink go to the creep camp.
Blink can...
They see him now. Yeah, he gets the hell out of there.
Maybe a lucky crit would help him out in getting that kill, but...
4 kiting tools, Mod. Now the Hurricane Pike.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep themselves away from MVP, and they want to dictate the fights here. Wings want to be the one to keep the pressure up, split push the lanes, make sure everything is going their way. But Dubu will put up a nice aggressive ward here. He'll TP out as well, but it's slowed down. And again, with MVP having that face rush lineup, with it slowing down so much, it almost certainly favors Wings with the split push that they've got going on right now.
MVP are controlling the map. They're out farming Wings for now. And for Wings, they really struggle to fight when they're either not... Oh, hold on. They caught Blake again.
They got the Orchid, and Dubu should fall to the Shadow Strike, and looks like he will go down. The Gust is up, and now QO. They just blow up. Poor Dubu.
And now Shadow might be in trouble here. He's been left alone. They try to burst him. Oh, baby. Barely escapes. They relocate him in, but the IO dies instantly, so he did not have an easy getaway plan. Good news for him is MVP with the Earth Spirit Death. Light on any sort of control. So could have been really bad bringing the Drow in and losing her there too, but works out okay.
So 20 minutes into this game, looking towards that next Roshan potentially. Not up for a little bit of time here as MVP. They want to be able to get into that pit, especially with that Desolator. The PA, and you were talking about this, the BKB choice, it looks like that might be next for QO on the Phantom Assassin, so there's a good chance that he's going to have some match community pretty soon.
Yeah, as mentioned, there are some things that pierce this, but it allows him to be much more confident in the fights. He doesn't have to worry about getting Orchided, getting Gusted back, and he can more confidently commit in. He also doesn't rely on his team as much to stay alive, so even if the fight gets spread out, QO can still be doing work, and then the team rejoins. I think given the way MVP have itemized, this is an essential item, even if it doesn't block everything. But at the same time, Wings still have tools to kite even through that. Like, you still can Hurricane Pike yourself away. The puck can phase shift. It's now level 3, getting to that point where you can always reliably phase shift Blink out. Warlock, once he drops his ult, doesn't care too much if he dies. Wings, though, on the move.
Smoke up, Faith Beyond looking to jump in. He's going to find the Waiting Rip to lose your arm. There's the Scream. MP will fall. They relocated Shadow as well. Dubu now. He's going to try to roll out. He will. Vacuum wall. Nicely done, but there's no follow-up coming out as Forever's caught by that Dream Coil. Scream of Pain, Shadow Strike, 2 down, and they might catch a 3rd, although...
The IO dies to the Drow Ranger illusion. QO looking to come in, but where's his opening?
Bebby about to go down, and actually surviving now with the Fate Zeta coming through. That push coming in. Forev, Bebby has to use that Oracle ultimate just to stay alive. That Chaotic Offering doing some good work, but not enough to bring down the Oracle. 2-for-1 trade, though, LD.
Wings absolutely handling this MVP aggression well, and I don't really feel like MVP have much of a plan B. No Midas on Invoker. Sometimes you'll see, like we've seen MP in the past, when they don't have a mech carrier, he'll buy mech, but then he'll go back for Midas and transition into the mid game and the late game. We're not seeing that. He's going Yule Scepter now. We're not seeing a PA Battle Fury. Darkseer will farm well. The support duo, Earth Spirit, Oracle, these heroes don't really farm. They don't have Bounty Hunters, so there's no track gold. This is not a lineup that farms that well. PA, in theory, scales well in the late game, but eventually Drow Ranger, she may get a Silver Edge, she may get an MKB, she gets evasion. I don't really think MVP can count on taking this late with the way they've itemized in the hero matchup. It's very important for them to snowball, find kills, and out-map control Wings, at least bottle them up in the base. So far, though, not able to do it. Wings have just been ready for the aggression and able to react.
A lot of the time you see the relocate in like you talked about, and there's just too much damage coming in as Wings have, of course, that Drow precision aura as well. There's so many ranged heroes here. QO, like you said, they'll be able to deal with his blur eventually later on down the road. His BKB is almost completed, but Swap has her own as well. And Blink will be able to pick up a haste rune along with it, so Wings are starting to control the map a bit better. They could use some extra map control. There are still very good wards placed down by MVP over towards that Roche pit. But for Wings, they have the pretty much entire Dire jungle controlled here. Some good wards at the entry as well as on that Uber cliff.
And now Mott, they look for a smoke. They can also Roche very quickly with the Drow, but it's not up yet. They're hunting for kills. Maybe gonna try to drop a ward. There's a haste rune bottled on Blink. He also has his BKB now. You can still Blink Strike on BKB targets, but Faith Beyond, he finds the jump. I think that's too deep for Wings.
Yeah, that's underneath the tier 3 tower. They don't want to commit too hard. They lose a fight there, and they might lose all this advantage that they've garnered over the course of this game. 24 minutes in, and that does mean that QO will get his BKB, and that might be an important item. They're going to counter smoke for MVP, and they're going to look for a target. They're going to draw a line and head straight down towards that Roche pit. They want that pickoff before they head into the pit, LD.
They would love to just take Roche now, knowing that Coil's on cooldown, but unfortunately for MVP, it's going to be just about a minute, exactly the amount of time the puck needs. Now 40 seconds till the Coil's ready. They need a kill, like you said.
This smoke might be broken by Faith Beyond if they walk up in the wrong direction.
Great positioning to break a smoke by him, and a very elusive hero as well.
But they're going to go elsewhere. They're looking for Shadow, and they might find him. They jump in. He's going to get caught, but there's the BKB. Wall drops out, but no vacuum. There's going to be the real kid in from Innocence. Dubu gets crushed by the right click. Chaotic offering elsewhere. Ice is low. We'll go down to the Purifying Flames. So far, 1-for-1 exchange. QO now. BKB's up. The Sonic Wave goes right through it, but he will at least get the eye. Now trying to man up against Shadow. It's not enough, LT. He goes down. The most important hero for MVP has fallen.
He did it. He's too squishy. Didn't have the help of the Oracle in that fight. Now they're looking for more. The Invoker on the run. Wings, though, no detection.
Debbie is going to have to use again that Oracle ulti.
But they're flanking with Shadow.
And then there's the Dream Coil. Blink low on mana, but boy, does he blow up after that Oracle ulti is done. It's going to be, I think, 3 going down for MVP, I believe.
They really want to take Roche now because they used all their big ultimates there. And MVP going to respawn in about 20 seconds. They do have the Ice Armor to assist with this endeavor. Aegis, so important for MVP. The type of lineup, kind of like a Huskar draft, where often it's really scary early to mid-game, can fall off late, but if Wings could take this Aegis away from MVP, it's game-changing.
Rev's going to come in, vacuum Shadow to the high ground, but he just forces himself down to the low ground with the Hurricane Pike. Dubu jumps in. There's the Boulder Smash onto 2. Roche now is going to fall, and they will take it. It's too late from MP to get that Tornado EMP combo off, and Wings have the Aegis now in tow with the Drow Ranger.
That was a really well-fought engagement by Wings. The only thing that didn't go well was Ice dropped the rock, immediately died. We have yet to see a particularly effective Warlock ult, I would say, aside from that one fight near the tier 2 mid for Wings, but it just doesn't matter. They're doing such a good job at kiting MVP. Like, the distance they had to chase that Drow with the Hurricane Pike, then Io relocates in behind her to keep her alive even longer. Innocence also has a Glimmer Cape, so he can use that to save the Drow. Like, they know after that initial barrage, once the BKB wears off, if MVP haven't found a pick or two, they're going to lose the fight. And the other thing is, Queen of Pain ult, that is causing problems for QO. His HP isn't that high. Dropped very quickly there to the Quap combo. BKB'd, but evasion is not enough to save him.
And the Sonic Wave. Blink was ready to go. He knows that he has to be on QO. He's got to be the damage dealer. He's got to get that Sonic Wave in and make sure he does the damage to the QOPA. So for now, it looks like MVP starting to get hemmed back in their base. Map control going the way of Wings, and with that Aegis, it looks like 5 minutes where MVP maybe don't want to fight against this squad, and people try to get more farmed up, but there's the Mantis Style for Shadow. He is now top in the net worth. He has been for a little bit of time, and it's still very close. He's the top 4 in net worth at this point.
Just another way to waste QO's time in fights. You blink in, you try to blow up the Drow, suddenly she mantas, removes the slow, you might not know which the real target is. Also, obviously, great for just safely sieging the enemy base as they don't have a Shadow Demon, and again, more ways to counter the initiation. Now a Lincoln Sphere on the puck. Wings are getting so strong defensively, and Drow is not the most defensible hero naturally, but with this supporting cash she has, and it's going to be tough to kill her. And then the other two cores, they are very elusive. Puck and Quap, BKB on one, Lincoln's on the other. MVP just haven't found that snowball. The quick bursts haven't been there for the most part. A couple of kills, but you need a lot more than a couple in this matchup, and especially with the way they've chosen to approach the game.
Invoker being behind for the majority of the game. Not great for F caught. Dream Coil is going to use the Guardian Greaves immediately. Vacuum wall in. Nice damage. Dubu misses the Boulder Smash. The Sonic Wave will go out, and forever looks like he will fall first. Kyo jumps in. BKB from Blink, and it looks like he'll back away. Dominating spree. Not sure how much MVP want to go forward here, but they will. QO jumps in. He goes for the BKB. Innocent's barely alive. The Chaotic Offering keeping him up, but now QO jumps in with another Phantom Strike and will find the kill. Blink away from Blink of the Quap. Febby.
But he's running. I thought QO only knew one direction, and that was forward. QO, wrong way, buddy.
Almost going down the Oracle ulti, keeping him alive. That false promise, but Febby will give his life for it. And QO backing up into the base. They're going forward. Faith Beyond's in. He wants Dubu. Gets the waiting rift off, and one more right click. Gets the kill. The tornado is up. He might get caught. Faith Beyond will just walk out now underneath the guys at the tier 3 tower. Great fight for Wings again. They take the tier 2, and they're knocking on the door of the tier 3 LD.
Oh, buildings fall quickly against this draft mod. Really nice play by Shadow there, force staffing the IO back. Sure, the IO dies, but it just wastes more time for the PA's precious BKB seconds. Wings are winning the longer the fights go on because MVP can't find quick kills.
Another vacuum, but no wall. He's already used it. Gus will be off target there. Swarm's able to dodge it, sidestep it nicely. They take the melee racks. They don't want to go any further. Now that Chaotic Offering Golem is down, but that is a great start to Wings pushing the base. And they will TP home. They will start pushing out the other waves and go from there.
Also want to point out Wings dropped some really good deep wards here. This is going to make it even harder for MVP to leave the base. I'm not sure at this point if they feel like they can even win in the mid game, but if you want to transition late game, then you're looking like trying to build back into a Midas on Invoker. It's already 30 minutes in. That sounds like a terrible idea, so I think MVP are scratching their heads like, what do we do?
This lineup, it was supposed to win early. They were supposed to be able, like you said, face rush this opponent Wings draft, but Wings drafted nicely.
And Wings have great access into late game. 5 range tiers with the Drow, that's great. Blink also with the plate mail. He can build either Shivas or an AC. AC great for sieging. Gives them that extra physical DPS. They can build into a Hex for Faith Beyond. There's the Oracle to deal with the Hex initiation, but then you're being forced to use the False Promise very early in the fight. It's not the ideal way to do it. It just further gives Wings more options, and not to mention, Warlock is scary, Mott. If he gets off a good double Golem, the point booster now picked up, Ag's likely next. That could just instantly win them fight. We still haven't seen a good Warlock ult, really.
Yeah, Ice.
And there's the AC.
He gets a good Chaotic Offering. That's going to change the complexion of a fight and make it even worse for MVP in most cases, but we'll wait and see how that goes. It's, again, more backing up and farming for Wings. This does give some time for the rest of MVP to get some items like that. Shiva's Guard coming out, but here is the puck. Faith Beyond has picked up the Dagon. This off-lane puck is doing so much work in this game, LD.
I mean, what do you do if you're QO now? Like, we've seen a couple fights where he wants to hang on to the BKB. He doesn't want to blow it too early, and then Wings just run away. So he tries to wait until they're committed, but if he waits, he gets hit by the Quap ult, he gets Dagon, he's out of the fight. At that point, he's not engaging anymore. Puts him in even more of a bind. So much pressure on the BKB timing here.
Forget the MKB for the Drow, or even the Silver Edge. It's the Butterfly that he wants. He knows that right click is going to be able to bring him down.
This is the better pushing item with the illusions benefiting from the...
Alacrity, Smoke will break. Yuo walking up. They're looking for Faith Beyond. He phase shifts, but now Shadow Gust up. Cold Snap coming out.
Look at how long QO's holding his BKB.
He's going to finally jump in, looking for Shadow, but there's the Hurricane Pike. Now the Chaotic Offering up for a Sonic Wave. See you later. MP will be able to force his way out. QO pops the BKB, but they can bring him down. Ice, Max up, stays alive. There's the Fortune's End, but QO now getting laid into the right click. Yeah, Phantom strikes away, but one more, and that'll do the job. 4 dead for MVP again. Febby, the only survivor, he wants Innocence, and it's a small consolation prize if he can get it, but the Glimmer Cape saves Innocence live. And they are going for the buildings. They're going for the tier 3. They are going for the jugular.
It's over, Mott. Wings have completely shut down MVP's aggression. The train stops here. MVP are going to have to figure something else out. You knew the fight was going to be hard for them when PA spends his entire BKB trying to kill a Warlock who's already dropped Golem. Can't even get that kill. Wings just completely crushed MVP.
QO could not stay on target. He was looking for, at first, that Drow Ranger, but the Hurricane Pike came out, and it's so tough for him to find any real particular target to hang on to and try to kill. So the Phantom Assassin, which was so successful earlier on in this tournament, not really coming up big for MVP this game, but it looks like the Wings fans behind us very excited.
The cheering section might be growing, Maud. I'm seeing more and more folks start to stand up here. At first it was just the hardcore fans behind the Chinese casters, but now it's migrating towards the middle. Wings is getting some fans here in Key Arena.
That we will jump into game 2, but not before we head over to, of course, our draft panel. Dakota, what did you think about that game number 1?
Hey there, Mott. How you doing? I thought it was pretty damn swell. We were expecting an action-packed matchup, and I think we got what we wanted. For you guys, though, I mean, we anticipated that, you know, MVP might go back for someone like the PA, and we know Wings to just kind of almost all random, it feels like at times, their draft. But do you think that there was a bit more strategy to this one?
I feel like for Wings, most certainly. I mean, you saw that Faith Beyond off-lane puck, and they must have known it was going to go at least somewhat well. And with that extra damage you get from the Drow, obviously, not to mention the Queen of Pain on top of that, you have the pure damage to go through the BKB, and eventually they could have gotten True Strike if they wanted to, but that was just so much damage to deal with, and plenty of kiting as well against the Phantom Assassin. So
I think that's one thing we didn't really talk too much about early in the game, is that Puck and Quap are very difficult to quickly kill. They have a lot of elusive capabilities, and that's what